If your Social Security check didn't arrive on your payment date, there's a critical problem that needs immediate attention, and ignoring it could cost you thousands of dollars. In this video, you're going to learn the 3 specific steps you must take right now to restore your missing benefits. We'll also cover why millions of beneficiaries are about to lose their paper checks forever starting September 30th, 2025. And we need to talk about the overpayment crisis that's forcing retirees to pay back billions and how to protect yourself from becoming the next victim. Stay until the end because we're also revealing a nationwide crisis that's already impacted 3 million Social Security recipients, and you need to know if you're at risk. Welcome to Financial Area, where we break down everything you need to know about retirement benefits, Social Security, and securing your financial future. If this information helps you, show your support by hitting that like button and subscribing so you never miss critical updates that could affect your benefits. Let's get right into it. So your Social Security payment was supposed to arrive, but it's not in your account. Your due date came and went, and the money simply isn't there. Before you start panicking, I need you to understand that there are specific steps you need to take to troubleshoot the situation and figure out exactly what's going on. The absolute first thing you need to do is check whether today is a federal holiday. This might sound simple, but it's a common reason for payment confusion. When your scheduled payment date falls on a federal holiday, the Social Security Administration typically sends the payment on the business day before the holiday. This is especially important if you're receiving SSI benefits or if you're getting both Social Security and SSI. So if your payment date falls on a holiday, check your account for the previous business day. If the money didn't arrive the weekday before the holiday, then you know something is actually wrong and you need to move to the next step. Here's what the Social Security Administration officially recommends. Contact your bank first. This is not what most people expect to hear, but there's a good reason for it. Sometimes the wire transfer between the Social Security Administration and your financial institution can experience delays. These delays have nothing to do with Social Security themselves. It's the electronic transfer system that can occasionally slow down. The Social Security Administration specifically states on their website that if you do not receive your electronic payment on the scheduled date, you should contact your financial institution first. Your bank may be experiencing a delay in posting your payment to your account. The official recommendation is to wait 3 business days before assuming there's a serious problem. I know 3 days can feel like forever when you're waiting for money you depend on, but this waiting period is important because many of these issues resolve themselves within that time frame. Now, if 3 business days have passed and your bank confirms they haven't received anything from Social Security, then it's time to contact the Social Security Administration directly. You can call them at 1-800-772-1213. You can also contact your local Social Security office, but be aware that you'll need to make an appointment to visit in person. Before you make that call to Social Security, there are 2 important questions you need to ask yourself. First, did you make a recent change to your direct deposit information? If you updated your bank account or changed where your payments are sent, it sometimes takes a little while for the Social Security Administration to process that change. During this processing period, your benefit payments can be affected or delayed. Second question, have you changed your address recently? If you're one of the people still receiving paper checks, which we're going to talk about in detail in just a moment, an address change could definitely be the reason your check didn't arrive. But before we go further into troubleshooting, we need to talk about something that's going to affect millions of Social Security beneficiaries in the very near future. Starting September 30th, 2025, the Social Security Administration is completely stopping the issuance of paper checks. If you've been receiving your Social Security benefits as a physical check in the mail, that's about to end. The government is eliminating paper checks entirely, and you need to know your options before this deadline hits. If you're currently receiving paper checks, you have 2 options to continue receiving your benefits. Option number 1 is to set up direct deposit with your local bank or credit union. This is the most straightforward solution for most people. You'll need to open a bank account if you don't already have one, and then you'll need to contact the Social Security Administration to set up your direct deposit. The government has created a special website and program called Go Direct just to help people transition to electronic payments. You can access that at the Go Direct website, and right at the top of the page, they make it very clear paper checks are being stopped. You have 3 different ways to enroll in direct deposit through GoDirect. You can fill out the enrollment form directly online on their website. You can call their dedicated phone number at 1-877-874-6347. Or if you prefer to do things by mail, you can print out the enrollment form, fill it out by hand, and mail it into them. All 3 methods will get you set up with direct deposit, so choose whichever one feels most comfortable for you. But here's the thing, not everyone can qualify for a traditional bank account. Maybe you've had banking problems in the past, or maybe you've been denied by banks in your area. This happens, and the government knows it happens. That's why they've created a second option specifically for people who can't get a regular bank account. This second option is called the Direct Express debit card. This is a prepaid debit card that is officially backed by the United States government. What that means is that the government is directly endorsing this card as a legitimate alternative for receiving your federal benefit payments. The Direct Express card is a prepaid card, but it functions just like any other debit card you might use. The major difference between this card and other prepaid cards on the market is that the Direct Express card comes with very low fees. Now, I need to be honest with you. Yes, prepaid cards do have fees. The Direct Express card has fees too, but they're significantly lower than most prepaid cards you'll find elsewhere. Let me tell you which federal benefits can be loaded onto the Direct Express card. Obviously, Social Security retirement, survivor benefits, and disability insurance are included. Supplemental security income is covered, but it also works for U.S. Coast Guard benefits, Department of Labor payments, Office of Personnel Management payments, including civil service retirement and civil service survivor benefits, railroad retirement annuities, and a wide range of Veterans Affairs benefits. This includes veterans compensation and pension, veterans education benefits under the Montgomery GI Bill, selected service reserves education benefits, and many others. Now let's talk about the fees, because this is important. There are actually a lot of services that are completely free with the Direct Express card, services that other prepaid cards would charge you for. Here's what costs you nothing: purchases at U.S. merchant locations, cash back when you make a purchase, automatic deposit notifications, automatic low balance alerts, web account access, ATM balance inquiries, ATM denials when you don't have enough money in the account, customer service calls, getting cash from bank tellers, 1 free card replacement per year, mobile app access and use, and 1 free ATM cash withdrawal with each benefit deposit. Think about that for a moment. You can do nearly everything you need to do with this card without paying a single penny in fees. But there are some things that do cost money. ATM withdrawals beyond your 1 free withdrawal per deposit cost 85 cents. If you use the Direct Express Cash Access service, that's 85 cents. If you want a monthly paper statement mailed to you instead of viewing your statement electronically, that costs 75 cents per month. Transferring funds from your Direct Express card to a bank account costs $1.50. If you need to replace your card more than once a year, additional replacements cost $4. If you want that replacement card expedited to you quickly, it's $13.50. Getting cash outside the United States costs $3 plus 3% of the withdrawal amount, and making purchases outside the U.S. costs 3% of the transaction. These fees are honestly pretty standard, and they're actually quite reasonable compared to most prepaid cards on the market. So, if you cannot get a traditional bank account, the Direct Express debit card is a solid, government-backed option that will allow you to continue receiving your benefits electronically after paper checks are eliminated. Now I need to talk to you about something serious that could be another reason why your Social Security check stopped coming in. It's called overpayment, and it has become a massive crisis affecting millions of Americans. There's a situation happening right now in Georgia that perfectly illustrates how devastating this problem has become. A man named David Morgan thought that he had closed a painful chapter of his life when his younger brother Dennis died after struggling with addiction and mental illness. But months after his brother's death, David received shocking news from the Social Security Administration. They claimed that Dennis had been overpaid more than $20,000 in benefits, and they wanted David to pay it all back. David described getting this news as devastating. He's a retired MARTA bus driver who had served as his brother's representative payee. He said, like everybody, if you stop somebody's source of income, what can you do? My wife and I could be devastated because we still got bills. David's case is not isolated. It reflects a nationwide crisis that is absolutely staggering in scope. According to the Social Security Administration's own records, they made nearly $72 billion in improper payments last year. That's billion with a B. Most of these were overpayments that the agency is now trying to recover through what's known as clawbacks. This crisis is being felt all across the country. The Social Security Administration has actually acknowledged that they have brutal collection practices when it comes to overpayments. A former Social Security commissioner testified before the U.S. Senate committee in August 2024 and admitted the severity of the problem. Here's what was said. Through no fault of their own, we overpaid them and then claw back in a rather brutal and summary way 100% of their check. Let that sink in. The government is admitting that even when the overpayment is not the beneficiary's fault, they're still taking back money in a brutal way. So what exactly does overpayment mean, and how does it happen? There are several common scenarios. One of the most frequent situations involves people who are working before reaching their full retirement age while also collecting Social Security benefits. If you're in this situation, you're required to report your income to Social Security. If you don't report it on time, or if you do report it but the Social Security Administration fails to adjust your check accordingly, you can end up with an overpayment. Then months or even years later, they discover the discrepancy and demand that you pay back everything you received that you shouldn't have gotten. Another common scenario involves people on Social Security disability insurance who are doing a trial work period. If you're making money during your trial work period and you're not reporting it, or you are reporting it but they're not adjusting your payments, you can get hit with an overpayment notice down the road. There's also the representative payee situation, like what happened to David Morgan. If you're managing benefits for a family member and the Social Security Administration believes there was an overpayment, they can come after you for that money, even if your family member has passed away. This overpayment crisis is affecting approximately 3 million people. The fact that the Social Security Administration paid out $72 billion in overpayments last year shows just how sloppy their systems have become. But here's the harsh reality. Even if the overpayment is entirely their mistake, it is still legally considered your responsibility, and they will come after you to get that money back. If you're receiving Social Security retirement benefits, or SSDI, the Social Security Administration will take half of your monthly check until your entire overpayment is paid off. If you're on SSI, they'll take 10% of your check until it's paid back. Either way, this can create devastating financial hardship. So if you receive an overpayment notice, here's what you absolutely must do. Number 1, do not ignore it. I cannot stress this enough. Ignoring an overpayment notice will not make it go away. It will only make your situation worse. Number 2, if you genuinely cannot afford to pay back the overpayment, you can apply for something called a waiver. A waiver is essentially you telling the Social Security Administration that you are in such severe financial difficulty that taking even a small amount of money from your check would cause you serious hardship. If your waiver is approved, you may not have to pay back some or all of the overpayment. Number 3, if you believe the overpayment notice is unfair or that they've miscalculated how much you supposedly owe, you have the right to appeal. You can challenge their determination and present evidence showing why their calculation is wrong or why you don't actually owe what they claim. But whatever you do, do not just sit on that notice. Do not put it in a drawer and hope it goes away. You must take action immediately. So let's recap everything we've covered today, because this information could save you thousands of dollars and a whole lot of stress. If your Social Security check goes missing, first verify that it's not a federal holiday causing a delay. Then contact your bank and wait 3 business days to see if it's just a wire transfer delay. If after 3 business days your bank confirms they haven't received anything, then call the Social Security Administration at 1-800-772-1213. If you're still receiving paper checks, remember that September 30th, 2025 is the deadline. After that date, paper checks will no longer be issued. You need to either set up direct deposit with your bank or credit union, or get a Direct Express debit card. Don't wait until the last minute to make this change. And if you receive an overpayment notice from Social Security, take immediate action. Never ignore it. Look into filing for a waiver if you can't afford to pay it back, or file an appeal if you believe their calculation is wrong. This is affecting 3 million people right now, and you need to protect yourself. If this video helped you understand your rights and options, hit that like button and subscribe to Financial Area for more essential retirement and benefits information. Drop a comment below telling us where you're watching from. We love hearing from our community. We'll see you in the next video.